Hello and welcome back to another episode of playing MotoGP 20 online. We're finally back with another episode. Of course, I did one a few weeks back when I visited home briefly, but now we're back with some more when I'm actually still at uni now, so we're just doing some online. So I'm hoping the internet will be stable enough for this. League racing has gone okay so far, so I think the internet should be good enough for this online session. So we'll just do as we always do, we'll just be doing some 3-lap races, and I'll be showing the best bits of each one. So then, race 1, we're here at Argentina. I think I might have had a hard tyre on in the intro, but I picked that by accident. I've swapped to a medium rear tyre now because hard is a little bit overkill. You can see we're playing a Stefan Barrado. Here, we've got the Project 20 mod on. Now I've touched controller 2, up to power mode 2, waiting for the lights to go out here at Argentina. Lights out and away we go. Off the line, it's not a great start. In fact, it's a pretty bad one, all things considered. Braking for this first corner then. Someone's cut the corner on the inside, we're riding up the inside, cutting underneath everybody, someone around the outside on a Repsol Honda trying to get the power down side by side. The two Repsol Hondas as we go towards turn 2, he's got up the inside, but we're going to cut back underneath again. The rear is sliding quite a bit, we haven't quite generated the heat in that medium yet. We'll have to let him have the inside, but try and get the cut back again. As we go down the straight on the power. See this Yamaha in second. Let me try and get a bit of a slipstream off him to try and pass this other Repsol Honda. We've been going side by side with this guy for quite a while. Someone's fell off. Nosrad has fell off, hitting the brakes. I've gone in way too wide there. Hopefully no one comes up the inside. They've not managed to do so. There's contact. Oh, contact between the two guys in front. We've now had contact with one of them. And we are... Oh, that was so close. We almost got taken out there. He completely wiped my front. And he's broke really early as well. Oh, almost hit him up the back. He turned in really early as well, so I think he didn't quite have that corner, the right line and braking zone done for it. I've got touch control 3 actually, because on the right hand side I was struggling a little bit for grip there. But we have got someone pretty close behind us, I can tell that's for sure. Oh, he's gone wide in front through the penultimate turn, towards the final turn, almost started a bit too early. So at the end of this first lap then, it's been pretty chaotic so far. The leader is absolutely clearing off. I need to try and dispatch this guy. The guy that seems to brake extremely early all the time. Trying to go around the outside on the power as early as we can. We're still behind him, so we cannot get past this dim guy at all. He's holding quite a good defensive line, but he's got a little bit wide here on the exit of 2. Can we try and get the cut back as we flick it over up the inside into 3? We should have this one done now. As we go down the straights. I can still hear his engine, so it's not over yet. He's a tenth of a second behind, looking behind. Wow, what is that? He's blasted past me there, trying to get some slipstream back. He might have a setup on or something. He's got a better gearbox. The leader has just gone extremely wide through this corner. I don't know if he's letting us catch up, but it looks like he might be. We've got up into second now. We have finally got past Dim. So Brake Devil 99. No, he's coming back around the outside again. We've got some more contact with him. Who is the leader? I mean, he's brave, that's for sure. So some brake for here. The leader's now lost the lead, although he's got it back again. I'm trying to cut the inside, so there's 3 wide here for the lead in Argentina. Come on the power, come on. I'm going to go for all the inside into this left-hander. Have I got it done? Dim has crashed. I think the two have collided. Well, okay, I've been forced off the track there. I was going to try and keep it on, but Brake Devil forced me off. Now this Aprilia's up the inside out of nowhere. On the power, as early as we can go. Right behind him, we're going to look for... Well, I was looking for a move into the penultimate turn. I don't know what this leader is doing, but he pulled away by a massive amount on the first lap, and now he's just kind of holding up the pack deliberately to try and make us all bunch up, because as soon as he gets in front, he just slows down again. So unfortunately, we're still third, just because of the weird behaviour of the other riders. G-Wiz is currently leading the race on the Aprilia. Someone's up the inside again. Jack Miller at the inside. Oh, there's still more contact. So I'm now down to 4th place. And all really because of just this guy that was leading is just backing up the pack for absolutely no reason, when in reality I should have probably got up to second. He should be miles out front, and I should probably still be battling with Dim. In the slipstream then, off Brake Devil. I'm just got to make sure he doesn't brake check me or anything, because obviously he is braking quite early. It seems around the outside we go. I've gone in so high, it's unbelievable. I've lost the front. Of course. I'm so annoyed by that. This race has just not gone to plan. There's no one there, is there? No, so we're down to 7th place. We should be able to get past this guy, because we've got an amazing run compared to him from off the track. It looks like the hard tyre would have been the better choice, and a medium front probably, if you look at the tyre temperatures. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's braking so early and holding the inside really slowly. This is a weird lobby. Okay, so he's just cut the grass again, so we're now into 6th place. Can we try and catch this guy? There's a couple of corners to go. Goal dart. I don't think we'll be able to. We're 1.6 behind. We're not going to be able to make that up. But yeah, crazy race this one. I'm not really sure what was happening throughout. But there you go. And it looks like Break Devil has still took the win anyway, because I think it looks like he's either hit this guy off or this guy's just crashed on his own. Well, he's miles off, so I would assume he's probably been hit off. No, P-Tang Gamer won instead, actually. So, yep, I don't know what was happening with the leaders. The guy in first place seemed to be trolling a little bit, kind of backing up the pack, which it kind of changed how the race should have played out, but whatever. I made a mistake at the end of the day. That's the reason why I was down near the back. So then 5th place in the end, 5.2 seconds off with a last lap crash. It's not too bad. But as you can see, look, 34.9, pretty decent lap from... Oh, that's Duck speed, actually, so he had the pace. But you see, Break Devil, 37.1 was his fastest lap, when that must have been lap 1. So I'm not really sure what he was doing holding up the pack, but we'll see what happens in the next one. Hopefully we get a nice track as well. So here we are then on the grid of the second race. We're here at Jerez this time, so another tyre sensitive circuit, so I'm hoping that we can get some track to answer overheats. We've got a Jorge Lorenzo on the front row. That's actually a pretty well made recreation, I must say. So waiting for the lights to go out here then at Jerez. Lights out and away we go. There's a lot of Yamahas in front of us. That usually is a bad thing. And what was that? I just got weaved out of the line. So that's put me down into 10th. Someone's crashed already at the first corner. There's some more carnage. People... what? Oh, okay. Of course. I did say when there's a lot of Yamahas in the lobby, it's bad, and I've been swiped by 2. Oh, wow. Okay. I think there's a little bit of lag as well, because that bike was on a really weird angle and stayed there for a long time. I think, to be honest, there's actually quite a few different continents in this lobby. Oh, Nosrad's fell off. What's this guy doing? He's going really, really slow and then sort of cutting back onto the racing line. Hopefully we're able to pass him down into the Dani Pedrosa corner. He's in the brakes for the Dani Pedrosa corner. Who is that? Gone absolutely straight on in front. I think it's that guy. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that name, though. Right behind this guy. Can we try and get past him? He should... Oh! No, you got to be joking me. Oh wow, that's a brutal crash. He's got back on already and I'm still waiting. I mean, come on, man. 2 crashes on this first lap, being taken out twice. Although I suppose I didn't get taken out in the first race, did I? So it was bound to happen at some point that I was going to get taken out. There's a guy in front of me going very, very slow. He's just rejoined from a crash, trying to get the power down. We've got inside into Alex Crivier. There we go. So we're now up into 11th place, no longer in 12th. Nosrada's fell off again. He's not having a good day. His bike's in the track. Yeah, I think there is a bit of lag because the bikes are kind of staying on the floor longer than they would normally, which is not great. That guy's just crashed. The one that unfortunately collected me in this accident the second time. So now up to 9th place. So, yes, quite a big gap in front. I'll have to see what that is at the end of this sector. 5.7. That's going to be fun. I think this is going to be my finishing position, I'm not going to lie. Well, I think I spoke a bit too soon, because this guy's just crashed and then is now riding quite slowly, so we should be able to hopefully get past him, put ourselves back up into 8th position, so I think that'll probably be my final finishing position, although then again I don't want to speak too soon. Not inside to Alex Crivier, or I didn't want to quite send it, because he didn't seem like he wanted to leave the room. G-Wiz is winning again, so the Aprilia rider on an absolute tear in this lobby so far. Up the inside, into the Jorge Lorenzo. Oh no! Oh. That was my fault, by the way. Before anybody says anything, I know, because I was cutting back late, but I just didn't quite see him till the last second. Luckily, we didn't crash, so I've got to try and mount an attack on him again. I think 8th is all I'm going to do. But that cost me a lot of time, that did. He was just going really slow, so I had to kind of go for the dive, and then when I cut back, I clipped him. But I fully sat the bike up and put the brakes on, so I lost a lot of time, because I did not want to have contact and have him off or anything. Here we go then through Cito Ponds. We are closing up. We should be able to make a move into Dani Pedrosa, I would assume. Seems like we can outbrake him by quite a fair way, although I did go in really hot, so that's probably why. But we should be able to get this one done on the brakes. Actually braked around the same point that I had the inside, so that is me in front. He's now crashed, so not really sure what happened there, but there was no contact on my screen at least. So yeah, it just looks like it's going to be 8th place. Not a good start to this lobby, that's for sure. So as we come out the last corner then, it actually ended up being 7th place because the guy that was trolling on the first race seems to have left. So 35 on that last lap, not a great lap, but also not terrible. Hopefully we can do a little bit better in the next one. So where were we then? Off 19.7 seconds, which is a lot. Although in this race, to be honest, we had absolutely no luck at all. We got took out a lot of times, so not much you can do about it really. But our fastest lap was up there with the leaders, so we would have probably done a fairly decent job if we hadn't been taken out. So this time we're here at Le Mans. I'm actually on the front row as well, so I'm playing as Rossi in this race. So we're on the front row. I'm hoping that we can just not get taken out in this one, because the luck has not been on my side so far in this lobby. Although, to be fair, in the first race the crash was my fault. We're waiting for the lights to go out here. Lights down, away we go. If Brilli has not had a great start, neither have I by the looks of it, because that Honda is on an absolute amazing launch. As we go through turn 1 then. Oh, it's playing between the two of them! Unbelievable! And as we go into the first corner, we are in the lead of the race. Splitting between the two of those riders there. That is one of my favourite moves I've ever done online. I didn't even really intend. I was just going through the corner, saw they were going slow. I had to kind of pick up to avoid one, and the other one on the outside was going slow as well. And that's just up into the lead of the race, which is nice. So I need to try and get my head down, see if I can put a decent lap together and put a bit of a gap into this field, because we know how aggressive they can be. So coming up towards the line then at the end of this first lap, 33.2, what's the gap? 0.8 of a second, so it's a nice gap to have at the end of the first lap, but it might be catchable. That's the problem, because I think the guy behind came from further back on the grid. I've just done a massive stoppie, so that is definitely not going to help my cause out at all, is it? That's probably just, well, pretty much annihilated any gap I put out. That's actually quite frustrating. Yep, 0.3 now. So here we go, and then he's only a 10th behind. Is he going to have a look at the inside? Not quite into the S blur. So we've just got to try and hang on for just over one more lap to try and get our first win in this lobby. I thought it was going to be a pretty easy win after the first half of the first lap, I'm not going to lie, but this guy behind is keeping me honest, and here he goes, around the outside, we're leaving the space, but I think he's one of the guys that was in front of me before, so I know that I can actually kind of keep it flat through here a lot longer than he can. Hitting the brakes as late as possible, trying again not to do a stoppie, and we've actually managed to pull it to the apex this time. So what's the gap? I think the gap's going to be similar to what it was in the previous lap, because I didn't make the mistake. Yeah, 0.2 where it was 3 before. I've gone in very, very wide though through this corner, try and cut back for a late apex. Well, that's actually how you meant to do the corner in real life, but you can kind of turn it tight in the game if you actually are not bad at the game like me. So we go through Museum then. We put a little bit of time into him again. I've just got to try and not make any mistakes really. And speaking of mistakes, that is a big one there. There he goes, he goes through. I was trying to brake a little bit later because he caught me so much on the brakes there last lap. And that has been my undoing, really. I braked way too late. I had to virtually stop the bike on the second half of the chicane. And I don't know how he actually managed to line that up so well to actually cut up the inside. But here we go into the last couple of corners. He's just stolen the win from us right at the end. Trying to get through. A massive wheelie as well. Second position. Not a bad race, but too many mistakes really. It could have been a win easily if I'd been a little bit less mistake prone, but I'm too used to the Moto2 bikes from the league. I just can't get used to the MotoGP braking sometimes, so I know it's a lame excuse, but it's the truth. Yep, so half a second behind in the end. My fastest lap was about half a second off his and the guy behind as well, but wow, a 29.9 from one of the guys. I don't know how legitimate that will have been, but fair play to the guy that beat me. He put me under pressure and made me make a mistake, so to that I tip my hat even though I'm not wearing one. Fair play. So then we're here at the dreaded Mugello. It was going to get picked at some point, let's be honest, we all know it. But it actually it took a little bit longer than normal to get picked. Usually gets picked quite early on, but the second half of the video. We're waiting for the lights to go out here then at Mugello. Can we try and get the victory from second on the grid? Someone joined and then immediately left. But lights out and away we go. That guy's had a fantastic start. I have no idea who that is on that Yamaha on the inside, but he's had an amazing start. We've now drafted past what is Dim, so the guy we battled with in Argentina, and we're all going in very wide into the first corner because that guy actually nudged me a little bit. We've come out of the first corner in the lead of the race, which, to be honest, I didn't expect at all. There's a guy right behind me, Takaki Nakagami. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a guy from the last race. So obviously it's still a Honda, and he seems to be pretty fast so far. Up traction control 3, hitting the brakes again for Matarasi. Yes, it is the guy from the previous race, so I don't want to concede another victory, but I mean, if you're going to beat me, Mugello is definitely the track to do it on. I'm not good at Mugello at all, it just doesn't suit my riding style. But obviously because it gets picked online so much, I've had a lot of practice at it, so I guess it does kind of go both ways. Ferrari Beata 1, trying to hold a tight line. We've run a little bit wide though, the rear is squirming, not quite to temperature, but I mean, I'm going to thank myself later on in this race when I'm on the hard tyre. Although actually the guy behind has now changed, so that actually might give me a little bit of breathing room. Although I can still hear him right behind me, so it's not the rider from the previous race. It was earlier on in the lap, but he's been overtaken now, so actually that could be even worse, because that might mean the guy behind me is even quicker. But we'll have to wait and see. Through Biondetti 1, flicking it over through Biondetti 2, 4/10 of a second the gap. I mean, that's nothing really that healthy, but it's a little bit out of dive bomb range, although if I just give it all away at Buccini, then there's not much point. So we try and pick up a late apex through Buccini. Rins' riding style's really weird in this game, isn't it? It's not actually anything like his real style. So as we come towards the line then, what's his first lap going to be? 50.4, 4/10 of a second still. Let's see if we can try and extend this gap. So as we come up towards the line then, at the end of this lap, I don't know if there's been some updates to the tyre temperatures or whatever, but they don't seem to be that hot. 44.4, pretty decent lap for me actually at Mugello, and that actually is fast up of the race. There was a few crashes behind on that previous lap, so it's actually given us quite a bit of breathing space for this last lap, so I've just got to try and bring it on home. Actually, never mind, he's only half a second behind. It was like 1 point something on the previous lap somewhere, so I kind of thought I still had that, but no. He's brought it down, it's half a second, so we've just got to try and not make any... Oh, he's dived up the inside through the second half of Savelli. Not through the second half, but through Savelli. It's that's a bit unfair, not going to lie, because he did just kind of hit me off the line, so... but once again, we've been mugged by this guy, but I'm not standing for it this time. And I've just gone on the green, ignore that. I'm going to try and see if I can get close enough to send it back up the inside somewhere, because obviously he did have that contact with me there, and I think that's a little bit unfair. Okay, well he just absolutely cut that corner, so that's how he was getting such a good run through the Biondetti. It's a shame when people kind of do that kind of thing. If you cut the Biondetti, it's such a big advantage, but you shouldn't do it. So we get beaten by this guy once again, but his limits, his track limits are questionable, unless he just did that one mistake that one time, I guess. But yeah, it's a bit annoying. A bit of an over-the-line pass, and then kind of corner cutting as well, but that's 2 races in a row this guy's mugged me on the last lap. It's starting to get to me a bit now. I've got 2 more races to try and reverse that. Oh, I beat him! He had a penalty. Okay. Yes, we've only got a win then in this lobby. So I guess that does show you that he probably was doing that every lap and got quite a big penalty, so fair enough, I'm going to take that as a win because he obviously got that penalty very fairly. His fastest lap was immense though. Although that probably doesn't take into account in corner cutting. So we've finally got a win then in this lobby at Mugello of all places. Let's see if we can make it 2 in a row in the next one. So then here we are for probably the penultimate race of the video then at Catalonia. So another tyre sensitive circuit. So I don't know what it is about the host of this lobby loving the tracks that are really, really hot. But he keeps picking them all. So we'll go down traction control 2 up to power mode 2, waiting for the lights to go out here then at Catalonia. Lights out and away we go, trying to get a good start. The leader's just come right over on me, and he's kind of ran the other guy, but that has really ruined my start. So we're down to 5th place, because that guy weaved. That other guy just broke so early, and then I think someone behind's been caught up because there's been a crash. So we're now back up into 3rd, sort of braking around the outside. Oh, the 2 guys in front having some contact. Oh, okay. The guy on the inside kind of got turned in a little bit by the other one. So it's David out front. The P2ang, I think he got turned in on a little bit, but they've been bashing the whole way through that section. So I don't actually know who fully was at fault, because I couldn't quite see, obviously, but it looked like he got turned in on, and it kind of the physics took over and it's a little bit weird. But we're up to second place then because of that. I think David was actually the guy on pole, so I think he's the one that wiped across everybody. So we've got to watch out for that. Make sure we don't get wiped across again through TV3. He's actually gone in a little bit wide. That should allow me to get a fairly good run on him as we go towards then turn 9. Trying to get on the power. The rear tyre's actually really, really cool still, even with the temperatures of Catalonia. So as we go down towards turn 10, we've closed up. We're going for a move on the inside, but we can't quite, although he's actually managed to go in wide. I'm not sure how, because he braked earlier than I did. And I hit the apex beautifully. So we've taken the lead of the race then here at Catalonia now. A couple of people joining now, which is nice, because the lobby was actually dropping in numbers. I think there's only there's only 6 in this race. But now 2 waiting! Oh, no, what are you doing? And that's us down at the penultimate turn, unfortunately. We've got to watch when we rejoin the circuit as well, to not get in this guy's way. He's got through. Oh, it's Peter Wang. So we're in the slipstream of him. Actually got a really, really good run because of the coming from off track. So there we go then, past him, back up into second position. Looks like the guy that's out front though is probably going to have this one. And we're being dived again, and there's more contact. This guy has hit me off again, but I don't know if there was contact from behind with David that kind of forced him into me or whatever. So we're down, well, we were down in 4th there apparently, but we are in 3rd position behind the guy playing as Fabio Quartararo, the guy that's mugged us 2 last laps in a row, but seems to be a little bit of a dirty racer. Well, he kind of bashed me out the way a little bit at Mugello and then seems to have done it again here. Although I don't know if it was hit from behind. The guy that's actually leading the race has crashed. Yes, it was Dim that was leading, so we're now battling for the lead once again on the penultimate lap of the race. It seems like he's not quite got the pace over me. He's had it. Other tracks on the inside we go. Bit of a dive bomb, but I mean, that was a fairly decent move. Quite opportunistic, really. I noticed that he braked a little bit early, so we're back up into the lead of this race then. I seem to be finding my form with the brakes a little bit again, which is nice. Obviously, I've been trying to adapt pretty much the whole time from the Moto2 brakes. So we brake for turn 10. He's gone in extremely wide, so that should give us even more time, although we'll get a good exit from going off the track, I assume. But this time, I'm actually feeling pretty comfortable. The previous 2 times, he's been catching me from miles behind, but we've just made the pass on him coming onto the final lap. So that should theoretically leave the ball in my court. But once again, it's going to be a final lap showdown with this guy. We've had quite a few in this lobby so far. Obviously 2 already. I've lost both of them, although we did win the last one on account of a penalty. So I guess you could argue it's 1-1. But I mean, I'm on about on track, over the line leads, and he has won 2 so far, and I want to get this 3rd one. On the inside, oh, he's absolutely just bashed into me. I'm not having that. I'm not having that. I mean, he's not made it stick anyway, but I mean, what was that? He just completely weaved at me in the braking zone. I do not want him to pass me anywhere else. He's trying to get up the inside, but you know what? Yeah, put him on the grass, because this guy is dirty. That is 3 times we've had contact now when he's making a move. Yeah, the 1 time I passed him, it was as clean as a whistle. So as we go through the final turn, then we should be able to have it if we can get on the power as early as possible. There he is, using the track limits again. But I'm not letting him slipstream me to the line. We've beaten him on track. We've beaten his dirty tactics. But yeah, seems like he kind of likes to have contact with the other riders by the looks of it. So I'm glad that we've managed to come out on top. So he actually had the fastest lap. Wait, no he didn't. Why is it giving him the fastest lap when I had the fastest lap? I guess he got a faster lap with a penalty. David got the exact same lap as me as well, which is quite interesting. So hopefully there'll be a few more people in this next race, but it's the last race of the lobby. Let's see if we can try and get another victory. So then, for the final race of the video, I guess it's fitting that we're here at the Chang International Circuit. Doesn't get picked too much anymore, but we are here regardless of that fact. The guy that we've been battling with most of the time, so the guy that just rammed us on the previous 2 races, he's left the lobby now, so we might be able to get another win here. Lights and away we go. The guy on pole position has had a terrible start, so we've actually already got into the lead as we go down towards the first corner. We've got a Yamaha at the inside. Never mind, we are down instead. We got took out, not by this guy by the way, but it was a factory Yamaha that crashed into me. There's a bike! Oh, a bike just skittling into the off-track runoff there. I had to brake to avoid it, so the bad luck seems to have returned from the earlier races. So I think that Chang is a very difficult track to catch up on, mainly because everybody's pretty quick here because they just take the nick out of the track limits. I know I've just run off the track, but I ran wide into a corner. I didn't just check extend on the exit. So we'll see what we can do from here, but I'm not really expecting much. There are some interesting lines going on in front of me. He is miles off the track. He's going to come back onto the racing line though, although to be fair there was enough room, so I guess it makes sense. He's going off to a completely different country at the braking zone, so we're up to 5th position now, 1.3 seconds behind the guy in front. We can maybe get a top 4 here. If there's a crash ahead, we might just get a podium as well. So starting the last lap, we've just done the fastest lap of the race, which is nice. We are closing in on this guy in front, although that's going to definitely save him a few tenths of a second. We'll see if we can try and catch him on this last lap, but I mean, track limits like that, you can't really compete with them. So we come down towards the last couple of corners and we've made some inroads on this guy, but it's just not quite been enough, unfortunately, to overtake him. There's been a crash. Oh no, so it's just David celebrating after he's won the race. So at the last corner then, coming up towards the line, 28.2 on that final lap. Unfortunately, just getting taken out the first corner kind of just ruined my race there, but we would have probably won it if we hadn't have been taken out. We had the pace over everybody in this lobby, it seems. So then in the end, 8.1 seconds away, 27.5. Well, he's got a penalty by the looks of it, so I think we might see where that's come from. But I think I got the actual fastest lap with the 28.2, so like a legit one without going off track. But I hope you guys have enjoyed that one anyway. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.